Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. Thank you for joining me today for our blind playthrough of Blueprints, and it's still at this stage a totally blind playthrough. I have no idea, how much longer I suppose things are going to continue, but the fact is things have been going really, really well lately, apart from the occasional sort of day here or there where my kind of big goal doesn't work out. It's still, I have to say, the collection of recent days, let's head into to 112. The collection of recent days has been still it has been an avalanche of incredible things. And I know if I know one more important thing, it's that I have something really, really, really good and important coming up, which is opening this blue door. I know how to do it now. We just have to make it happen. So this is my big hope for today. The marvelous thing about today as well is that, of course, we are no longer cursed. That's extremely interesting. So I'm starting with my blue royal scepter. I'm starting with microchip and metal detector. Okay, that's an interesting. So thankfully today, we're starting with royal scepter, which is what we need anyway for all of the rooms that I want. We've got keycard because of where we spent call it a day yesterday in break room. It's just odd that of all of the things I was given, I've been given the microchip. Look, and in a sense, that's kind of it's fine. It's kind of funny. Oh, hang on, there's something else. Yeah, this microchip. Okay, so I've got both of the microchips. I can, I need them anyway. So, maybe we should just go and put them somewhere. I'll get rid of them if there's any danger that I'm going to lose them in Lost and Found or something like that, because obviously that would be disastrous, especially if I am able to open the blue door today. Anyway, yesterday was a rough day, and look, I've got to say, I was really tired yesterday and kind of starting to I had a low immune system, feeling like I was coming down with something. My brain was all over the place. So after recording, even knowing that I made sort of mistakes here and there, even after recording, I remembered I remembered all kinds of little things here and there that I forgot. It was just a day. I think realizing that I couldn't kind of make my big goal happen just kind of made my brain go, so it forgot, for example, to put anything back in the cloakroom. I forgot that I already had moon pendant, so of course that's why I didn't see it in showroom. Just all kinds of stuff. Anyway, today is a new day. I am feeling good. I am feeling powerful. My brain is feeling certainly much better than it was yesterday. We're not cursed. We've got a good, interesting little set of items here that definitely helps. And on top of that, I haven't destroyed the gem cavern, which is a whole new sort of terror that I've learned about. So I have had a bit more of a think about that whole thing. I'm still not ready to try it. I'm just too afraid of the risk of that. We've done things that have lost opportunities in this game before. Many of you will remember our friend Piggy Bank. And that was on a cursed day that didn't go well, and Piggy Bank is gone forever. I don't want to say goodbye, but that was okay because I've managed. I'm so sorry to Pig, but I have managed to get a pretty good money situation going. I can't replace. I'm pretty sure I can't replace starting every single day with 2 gems. So for the time being, that is just. I take that risk very seriously. It's just a bit too scary for me. I'm not forgetting about it, but I'm gonna kind of leave that. I'm going to leave experimenting with that until I have fewer definite, really good, compelling approaches in front of me. And at least right now, I have a very, very good one, which is trying to get, blue door open. And possibly possibly all blue doors, however freaking many there are, I have no idea. Surely the fact that this exists, the fact that they say all blue doors doesn't mean 2. I kind of have to think it means at least 3. And I've only seen 1. So, yeah. So maybe Gemstone Cavern, could lead to another one. But it's just, that is a bit too much of a scary, risky situation for me right now. I have other things to think about. I have plenty of other options to consider that I mentioned in the last episode. Maybe getting through Aries Court, maybe beyond room 46, maybe somehow below the cog near the reservoir. Maybe it's to do with other outer rooms, other rooms from the house being in the outer rooms, etc., etc., etc. I think there's a lot of other things to pursue. So for the time being, let's just get in that blue door and find out what's there. That's what I really want to do. So we're in a pretty good position today. I have one bit of substantial analysis I've been doing to try and help myself out today. Because the thing I really missed out on yesterday is being able to draft Throne Room, which is obviously very important. I've been doing analysis on all of my past drafting days where I've had Throne Room. I've been looking at exactly where in the house I've had it. So I have every single instance sort of noted. The great thing, by the way, about doing this analysis is I only have to check, have I had a castle mansion? Have I had a castle day? So, if it says perplexing schoolhouse, I ignore it. So it's great. It's actually great doing analysis of this. It's quite quick and easy. So I know every single place so far that I've drafted it in the house. And what I can say is that it's not exclusively, but it is very common that it's on rank 6 and 7. Most of the times I've drafted it, by far, are on rank 6 and 7. But I have also drafted it once on rank 5, and I've also drafted it 3 times on the same spot in rank 4. And that's it. Rank 4, column D, if you do A, B, C, D, E, which is how I do this. So that's really interesting. And there have been 2 instances, actually 3 instances where Throne Room has... No, sorry, there have been 2 instances where Throne Room has been drafted 2 days in a row in the same place. One of them, it had the same orientation, as in we drafted it, from the same spot. The other one, it didn't. It was a different orientation, drafted from a different spot. But anyway, I'm sort of looking for can I understand some of the drafting patterns of Throne Room that may apply to Throne Room? Something I was very happy about that helped me get the blue Throne Room is knowing that I can draft it in the wings. But every instance where I've drafted it into the wings, and it has been East Wing and West Wing, I have drafted it from the inner columns outwards into the wing, into the wing, not from the wing into the wing. So I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to draft into the wing as much as I possibly can if I'm trying for Throne Room. I am going to be taking ranks 6 and 7 very seriously, and I'm going to be taking all of the other spots where I've drafted it very seriously. I've looked at all of the orientations, which direction I've drafted Throne Room into. It's all of them, it's pretty much everything. It's, northward, southward, eastward, westward. It's never been in a corner, and I kind of feel like they probably wouldn't. I could imagine it's not draftable into a corner, because the corners as well do tend to get us, definitely not exclusively, but they do tend to get us either corner rooms or dead end rooms. That does tend to be the general pattern I notice. So I think there's something to that. I've also looked at exactly which houses I've ended up with. So I've had, Royal Shopping Centre, Archaeological Castle. The 2 most interesting ones to me are Scarlet Castle, which I had once because I had lots of red rooms with Throne Room, and Garden Castle because I had lots of green rooms. So I like those because, in particular, they're coloured castles. And this kind of makes me think a little bit more about, could there be some possibilities with using different colours of the sceptre with Throne Room to get specific castles? The other one I've found really interesting that I'm just sort of like thinking about is one time I had a garden castle of prayers, and that was because I had several sacred rooms. Now, I've always, since very early in the game, been interested in the meaning of the sacred rooms because, in particular, they don't say, like the way they do here, 5 shop rooms or several dig spots or several green rooms or, like they don't actually say sacred rooms. They simply individually list the rooms. They will say shrine, chapel, cloister. That has always made me wonder about what they could mean, but I've never seen anything happen from it. But I am a little bit interested in the potential for that connection there with throne room and sacred rooms maybe, but definitely also with the colors. So these are all experiments for later because I need to be able to change the color of the scepter to try different things with that. I've also looked at how common it is that the throne room has been drafted on days with other black prints. It is almost every single time. So I do think that, and sometimes on several occasions it's with the outer room, but on most occasions it's not with a black outer room. So I think there's definitely a strong relationship there, between, and that might apply to all of the rooms in a sense, maybe certain colors just encourage other colors. We do sometimes see green rooms drafting other green rooms or hallways drafting other hallways, or even having them like adjacent to each other. I can definitely imagine that there are like dynamics like that, and certainly I think it applies to the black prints. I've also noted specifically when they're adjacent to each other, which is, meaning either that they're actually adjoined, and when I have been able to, whether from throne room I've drafted another black print, which is very common, like right here, aquarium has come after throne room, or if it's happened the other way around, and it's both of those things have occurred. Like sometimes I draft throne room from treasure trove, for example. So there's certainly a relationship there. It's very common with treasure trove, but in a sense that's because I really try hard to get treasure trove every day, and treasure trove is a common room, right? So yeah, so there's a whole bunch of relationships like this, and I'm hoping that I can kind of use this to my advantage to try my absolute best to get throne room. Of course, however, the difference now is that throne room is now a blue throne room. It's now a blueprint and not a black print. So I don't know if that changes some of this analysis. Yeah. The other thing, I'll just say one more thing before we get started, is I've been continuing to think more about this Aries court castle cloak thing, and I suppose I'm not onto anything I would call like a clear, like I think, like here's a theory about how I think this works yet, but I'm considering whether, like I really truly do feel it has a strong relationship to throne room, because we get this just before we get this message before we find throne room. I feel I can't ignore that. There must be a relationship to throne room. But what does it mean? What does it mean? It's obviously all of these words, court, cloak, castle, are associated with Aries, which either to me means Aries as in related to the realms, and Arinda Aries maybe, or as we now know could mean House Aries, which is kind of like, my understanding is it's the Arinda Aries Oris line family. And I do wonder again if what that means is that all of these things are sort of have a heavy association with black prints, and I don't know if that means that throne room now being a blueprint changes things. So maybe I've ruined this forever, or maybe it's fine. I don't know. Of course, I've said before, court just seems so clearly to me like it must be related to Aries court. It's literally called Aries court. It could mean that whatever this is related to the key, is related to the scepter. Maybe the scepter needs to be black. I don't know. Or I have wondered, could it mean that if the solution to this is something like drafting rooms together or drafting them next to each other, maybe court, maybe the proxy for court could mean just treasure trove in general, because obviously Aries court is out there, you know, we can't, if this puzzle is to do with drafting rooms, you know, next to each other or from each other, like, for example, let's say it's throne room. This is one possibility I'm thinking about. What if it's having throne room and from the 2 doors in throne room, drafting 2 other relevant rooms? If that's the case, I could imagine that the proxy for court could be treasure trove, because treasure trove is still associated with the scepter, which has the association with Aries court. So I'm thinking about that. The revelation I had in the last episode that really helped me is that mantle of the night might be related to cloak. If that's the case, if it's a room, then it's probably armory. Maybe it's something like drafting armory from throne room, having them all next to each other. Maybe it's simply having them in the same day. But it raises 2 other possibilities for me. One is that maybe the mantle of the night relationship, if it even is that, I'm getting too excited. If it even is that, maybe it's simply related to having the mantle of the night chess power selected. And maybe specifically it's the mantle of the night chess power, i.e. not the ambition of the pawn. Or maybe it's having mantle of the night power activated, meaning that ambition of the pawn is also okay, as long as you've been on rank 8 and selected mantle of the night power. So I could imagine any of those possibilities. And then castle, of course, I suppose just seems like it's related to throne room to me. It could also be related to the literal castle that we've seen and haven't been to, maybe. But it does seem to me that this is all related to throne room. And then that raises the question, you know, does it need to be a black throne room? Is a blue throne room okay? I don't know. So I could, like, I suppose what I'm literally saying is that maybe so far my best idea is that you have, you know, throne room, and then from throne room you have armory, and then from the other side of throne room you have treasure trove. That could be something, you know, like, I like that. But any of that experimentation, and it also, of course, could be related to the scepter and having the black scepter, which would align it with Aries. However, that would not align it now with the throne. But yeah, I don't know. That's my best idea, but I just wanted to update you that I've been thinking about that. All right, I've got, oh, just dropped my pen. I've got many other things I've been kind of dabbling away at, but those are the 2 main things I wanted to start with. Let's get on with this day. So, you know, I'm going to leave the outer room for at least until I get throne room, because I don't want to, again, if I'm going to do schoolhouse along with this, I don't want to flood my pool yet with classrooms. But my other option, which I'm very excited about, is that we're beyond the curse now, so I could also use today to get shrine again, make sure I get the blessing of the monk, and then I can do that at the end of the day. That's fine. It's not going to serve us through the day. But what I could then do is finish the day in antechamber and see if this, you know, see if this means anything, see if this does anything interesting tomorrow. I'm quite compelled by the possibility of that idea. So for the time being, I'm leaving the outer room alone. Let's see what we can make of this day. I guess if my pattern plays out, it may be that throne room is more common in ranks 6 and 7. It may also simply be that throne room is just a little bit harder to draft, and so you thin out the pool. By the time I get to rank 6 and 7, it's more common. Don't know. So either way, we just got to draft. Okay. Well, these are 2 dead ends, and I do have keycard today, so that's pretty good. But I'd still like to, you know, open up some more possibilities for myself. So let's do a break room. And again, if we're lucky enough to get secret garden key, that could be really helpful. So what are we doing? We're starting with 4, and then we are squaring 4 to get 16, and then we're inverting to get 61. And then it's just 61 minus 10, 51 minus 20, 31 minus 10, 21 minus 21. Okay, this one a little bit more complex, so we're ignoring all of this. That's great. And that means we've only got one instance of using the bullseye. We're starting with minus 6 minus 1 minus 4.5. Okay. From this, good thing we have a round coming up. So minus 11.5, then we're ignoring this, we're jumping over to this one, so this is plus 8, minus 3.5, and then we're jumping over to this one, which is multiplied by 1, so minus 3.5, we're rounding, which I don't know if we're rounding to minus 4 or minus 3. Let's just say minus 3 for now. And then squaring that, which gets us to 9. And then all of this we ignore, and then we've got these two to contend with, which... So this would be minus, hang on, I'm on 9. So this would again be, hang on. All right, so that would be, I don't think this works out. I think I've done this wrong, because I think this is just going to take me into a negative number. All right, no, I don't think this works out. I don't think that's a good enough position to be in. Let me rethink. Did I accidentally add one of these? I don't know. Okay, either way, minus 6 minus 1 gets us to minus 7 minus 4.5. So that is the center column. We should get to minus 11.5. We ignore this one. This one we half. So plus 8. Yes. Then that's correct, isn't it? And then there's only this one, which is multiplied by 1, so it's the same. And then we're rounding, let's try rounding to minus 4 actually. Minus 4. Square that. Gets us 16. This might be a bit better. And then, what is 19? Half of 19 is 9.5. So 16 minus 9.5. Yeah, it gets me 6.5. And then minus 4.5 gets me 2. All right, that's much, it's all right. So it was the rounding that was messing me up there. And now I can't remember where 2 is. It's over here. Okay, God. Yay! At least my efforts have been rewarded. Key to the secret garden. Great. So that's also an excellent start to the day. Because I don't... The disadvantage I have today as opposed to yesterday is not starting with a bucket load of gems. So, you know, Den doesn't get us an extra exit here anyway, so let's put Parlor. Right. Good old wind-up key. What a staple of the game, honestly. I do not think wind-up key enough. Without wind-up key, there is no game. Okay, so still 3 statements. The statement on one of the other 2 boxes would be true if you replace the word every with the word this. Alright, so it's a slightly complicated one. Every box contains gems, every box is black. Okay, so, alright, that's an interesting one. No doubt I've done this exact thing once before, and I'm sure this applies to all of them. So every box is black definitely works if you change it to, hang on, oh, say, what does it say? Would be true. Would be true if you replace the word every with this. So this one, if that first one is true, and let's just say it is, then this one, if you change the word to this, it doesn't work, so it can't be that. Every box contains gems. This box contains gems. This could be the one. If black box is true, this could be the gem box. But then if it is the gem box, well, that maybe makes it true. The statement on one of the other 2 boxes would be true if you replace the word every with the word this. Okay, so it's only true if you change the wording, meaning that the box itself is false, but it contains the gems. That means this one, in this scenario, could be either, but every box is black is obviously false, so a true, false, false works perfectly, and the gems are in here. But let me just try the other way. If this is false, then I guess we just like disregard this. It's actually slightly complicated to think. The statement on one of the other 2 boxes would be true if you replace the word every with the word this. I guess it just means this box doesn't contain gems. Every box contains gems is still false, like it's just definitely false. And every box is black is just definitely false. Yeah, so this scenario doesn't work out because then all 3 boxes are false. So the gems must be in here. Yay. Phew. So with no redraws, it's risky to do this because I risk losing the corner, and the corner might be really good for me. So let's go from here this time. Okay, I prefer having workshop here and getting past this rank. That's super great, thank you, sledgehammer. Sledgehammer. Does anyone else think of that every time they pick up sledgehammer? I do. Even if I don't say it, I have it in my head. This is interesting, just because I'm thinking, like, of course I have made coat check more common, but I do wonder if the reason I'm sort of seeing it here is because we got that memo that said coat check is more common the next day if you put a new item in it. I wonder if it applies to taking an item out, which is what I wonder if it applies to simply a change in coat check. Anyway, I do really, really, want to have access to coat check and try to put something useful in there. I'm not too worried about not having put master key in there. Like, it obviously would have been super useful, but again, I do mostly manage to buy things out in showroom, and it didn't yesterday, but at least not early enough in the day to be super useful. But yeah, it's not too uncommon to happen now anyway. I don't really I do have key card, but I just still would prefer not to dead end. This is just such a good central spot, so I'm actually going to do corridor here. Yeah, so let's go and try from here then. Okay, hallway with locked trunk I think is fantastic here. Though I do like starting the day out with having a greater chance of finding items in green rooms, because that can be really helpful. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go this. I want the trunk. Yes, okay, we've got redraw die. That's perfect. So that gives me enough bravery to come and draft here, but we might as well go in the corner here and see what we can get. Code check again. Hello. I mean, I could put coat check here, but it's not going to be immediately useful. So this could also be a later in the day thing. Laboratory could be immediately useful, you know, to get the terminal for various reasons. And I actually do have something I want to try in the terminal different today. But I want to make the most of redraws to see, yeah, to really want study. I really want study so much. Okay. So far no study. Like, look, let's just try the next one. I can afford for this spot to be something else. Yeah, I'm going to put pantry here. It just gets it out of the pool. We get a little apple. I'm going to leave it in case I get, you know, observatory or something and apples become more nice. Well, I might dead end this spot then, because we can still go up from hallway. It's a little bit more precarious though, of course, because, yeah, but I feel like it's not the best use of boiler room here, and I definitely don't want to do freezer. So let's put storeroom. It gets it out of the pool. It's a really common room, so I feel like, yeah, I feel like one of the things that maybe could have helped with our drafting yesterday is putting more effort into getting the really common, you know, rooms out of the pool. But yeah, it was hard to find opportunities for that, honestly. Okay, well, none of this is good. So maybe I'll just put coat check here. And yeah, I'm just going to put coat check here. Cool. And of course today we're starting with some extra keys, which is also nice. So there's not such a huge urgency for Nook. All right. So at least we've got corridor and we have the option to go up to foundation. That's all really, really good. But let's now go back and draft over here because I do have 2 redraw die. Hopefully we can manage to get, yes, perfect. In that case, let us definitely do drawing room. This gives us even extra drafting opportunities in the corner here. And I'm putting a lot of steam in the corner, not for throne room, of course, because I don't think it likes corners, but I think study likes corners. I think corners like dead-end spots a lot. So let's do our redraws and see if we can be lucky. Treasure trove is very good, but I'm sure I will see it again. Okay. I got one more redraw. Trophy's really good. Trophy room's really good. Just get more gems. Honestly, getting clock tower out of the pool is probably pretty good as well. And of course, you know, there's many things I really like about planetarium. We get a trunk, we get a redraw die. But I can also try redrawing again. Maybe just since it's a really good spot to get a dead-end room out of the pack. Let's go... You know what? For a weird reason, I'm going to put clock tower here. The reason is I've been thinking about like the view from clock tower from different positions. So here, yeah, we're looking towards the side of the house. There's our satellite. Here we're looking north, so now clock tower is really far away from room 46. Here we just look up at the mountains, and it's interesting because this is the view I can't get from like anywhere else really. Not really. It's very hard to sort of see all of this. Okay. And then this is the least accessible. I can barely see anything, but but there's technically, yeah. So this is kind of like all of the fog and Mount Holly. Interesting. Okay, couple of coins. At least Clock Tower, which kind of plagued me yesterday, quite frankly, is out of the pack. Out of the pack. And it does get us some keys for tomorrow, just in case. No other items here. Okay, so we can draft up from here. However, I am a little bit like, maybe I should try to avoid as much as possible drafting in the wings at all, like drafting along the wings, and keep trying to draft into the wings, because that seems to encourage, like here, I think it encourages 3-door rooms. I might just do it on this one spot though, because again, we get a redraw from drawing room, which I like. Not ballroom, no thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try a redraw. Okay, well, to be honest, I could live with dead-ending this spot, given that we can draft from foundation. I might put, yeah, like I could get the items from bedroom closet, or put Nook here just to give myself a bit more key security. I think I'll do that, because if I am gonna, like, I am almost certainly, you know, soon enough gonna head up to foundation. So yeah, key security matters. So what can we get here? Okay, these are all really good options. Given that we have the blue room issue, I think I'll put kitchen here while we have the option for it. Yeah, it will take up a gem, but I think we can live with it. So showroom works with our meal, and we have these things on offer, which I'll leave for the time being, because I don't have any step, anything that's going to make my steps or my food taste better yet. Okay. Perhaps. I'm just looking at my potential throne room map, just in case, like, if I start getting to the spaces where it might have higher incidence, or where I imagine it may have higher incidence, which is just where it's been before. Yeah, either of these are good. I could get Vault out of the way again, just getting dead end rooms out of the way. None of them allow me the opportunity to draft into the West Wing. Into the West Wing or into a wing. So maybe foyer. No, spare veranda. Alright, the reason is that I do wonder if drafting from foyer, this is another thing I'm wondering. It hasn't happened very much, but I do still wonder. I do still feel that there's a strong relationship between foyer and throne room. So I wonder if drafting from foyer could increase the chance of getting throne room. The reason I didn't pick it here is in case these are the more important ranks for drafting throne room. I might as well... Yeah, might as well use a key. Let's see what we can get here. Okay. Well, I like a den, because it allows me, it gives me more exits. It allows me to draft also into the wing. But then again, so does classroom. And classroom will give me also some more redraws into the wing. I have drawing room, so that will help as another drafting possibility. let's do this. Let's do this. The other thing, is again trying to get treasure trove somewhere in case black prints like encourage each other, except now it's not a black print, so I don't know if that still works, but maybe throne room sort of still retains the soul of a black print, you know, like in some ways maybe those relationships still hold out. I don't know. I'm having to use up more keys. Well, all right, so this offers the possibility of using secret garden key, however, which is all well and good. However, it means I'm not using the opportunity that I put this here for, which is trying to get throne room. So I'm actually just going to use a regular key here. I'm sure I'll be able to do... Yeah, I'm sure I'll be able to do throne room, secret garden somewhere else. For now, let's use our redraw capability. Okay, all right. Given that, I'm gonna, it's a bit of a weird spot for it, but I'm gonna put conference room here. Yeah, because it's the only way I can draft the spot below it. All right, let's do that. And I suppose there's a small chance of getting Ladyship's chamber here. Yeah, no, it's not, and it's not. Look, it's not a big enough goal to waste. I'm thinking of Vault keeps offering itself. I'm thinking of taking it out of the pack, but it's 3 gems. Ah, that's rough. Yeah, that's too rough. All right, we'll put bedroom closet here. Okay, great. That's good, and that helps with steps if I get bedrooms. Cool. All right. Nope, that's good. That's good. So let's not draft there then. I'm just going to eat this apple because I don't envision coming back here anytime soon. Cool. Maybe let's just eat a couple of bananas. Nice. All right, and let's head back. Let's head back to entrance hall. So there is a particular space on rank 4D, right here, that I've had throne room several times. Maybe if I could get lucky enough to draft treasure trove here, that would, maybe all of these things together could make throne room more likely. Okay, no. Well, maybe it's worthwhile. I have, so just above here, I have once had throne room on rank 5, just beyond this spot. Maybe putting foyer here is something? Yeah, we'll use 2 gems, but it might save us some keys, particularly if we have Great Hall as an option. But then this will also, this will also help with unlocking with locked doors. Maybe. Yeah, I really don't want to get too low in gems. I'm going to put foyer. I don't know. Everything is a risk. Oh, okay, that's great. It's interesting to have, corridor, foyer, and Great Hall here. I like that, but I'm going to go treasure trove again. Is there this relationship? Was there this relationship and it's not there anymore because throne room is no longer a black print? I don't know. But I don't know. I think it's worth a try. Yeah, and I think even more so perhaps than the whole black print thing, it's just the fact that these all seem like castle-related rooms to me. You know, treasure trove to me seems like it's part of a castle. Throne room seems like it's part of a castle. Armory seems like it's part of a castle. So I think even for that reason, it could be that the relationship stays. So let's try this. I am now down to 2 gems. I'll at least grab some of this money in case we're lucky enough to get showroom at some point. And I'll, you know, as always, I'll just keep some of it here. In the event I get lucky enough to get a study laundry room combo. I'm gonna come back to this, honestly. Is this, you're just talking about this money, yeah? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to that because I don't have, yeah, lockpick kit or master key yet, so I can't use this to get a blueprint, and I already have blueprints more common anyway, so like, is it worth trying a redraw to see if it could possibly pop up? I'm a bit... The reason I'm interested in potentially Parlor here is because it would take me into the spot 4D where I have had castle, where I've had throne room several times. I have also had several other black prints that were not adjoined to throne room, but were like adjacent to it, as in diagonally adjacent to it. So I wonder if even that relationship could work out. I don't know. It could be that redrawing here is a really good thing to try. I'm gonna try at least once. Okay, it didn't work. So in that case, let's put den here. Yeah. Let's put den here. We get gem, we get our little coin. And that's it. And I'm like, maybe if I draft down from here, throne room could see to joining things, but let's try here. Again, should I just go ahead and put secret garden here, or is this a good opportunity again to try for a 3-door room? I'm gonna do regular key. Okay. Like locksmith would at least give me the lockpick kit. That's actually a little bit compelling. And I can still go up from conference room, and I can still draft from foundation, so it's actually not a bad option. Maybe it's not a bad option. This could help me get gems, but yeah, it is going to be hard to sort of travel back here. Again, it's like a really out of the way spot. I'm going to go locksmith to help with the key problem. And quite frankly, this just sort of solves the key problem. So we'll see what special key we can get, just in case, because it's probably going to be, it'll be silver key or prism key, which can both be really useful in different circumstances. Yes. Not for throne room, unfortunately, and because I got loads of money, I might as well just key up. There we go. Alright, cool. So that's at least, that's a problem sorted. From here, let's see, this is the only entryway into these 4 spots. Okay, it is not throne room. And neither of these 2 rooms will let me move forward. Do I risk a redraw then? I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do one. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna... I'm going to do Observatory, and I'm just, like, to be honest, I'm going to really cross my fingers I get some gems from this, because otherwise I'm going to be down to 1. But maybe that's my good turn back point to head down, you know, to Foundation, and I can also pick up the other gem down there while I'm opening the North lever. All right, let's hope Observatory can be kind to us. We're on 40 stars. 40 stars is the 7 constellations, right? Yes. So good. So this is really good. 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 Because I think 4 doors becoming more common also makes 3 doors more common as well. And that's really good. Oh. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay. But I'm in a similar position to what I am yesterday, which is like, you know, I still need to make sure I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at least squares available. Another one for throne room. Ideally another one for study. And that, you know, means I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to sort of play around with. I think actually turning back from these spots at this stage makes sense, because if throne room is more likely to be up here anyway, then let's leave these as potential blue room spots. Because, I mean, my understanding is I need to draft them in a row, not adjacent to each other. Could be wrong. Could be wrong, but that's the way I currently see it. Okay, I'm gonna pick up a little bit more money. Yeah, just so I can be... Hang on. So, let's say I get the option for Master Key and Emerald Bracelet. That'd be 140, and Silver Spoon would be 170. Well, that'll take most of this money anyway, won't it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm gonna leave it there. That's at least enough. I've got enough keys to do this now as well, for sure. Yeah, that's at least enough to sort of get some really good items in showroom if it comes up. Cool. So, next treasure trove spot. This is number 30 freaking 9. It's another moon. It's a white moon box. Another green statement. The previous box in this room contained a true statement. Well, I do not believe so, so I believe this is also a lie. The previous box in this room contained a true statement. And I'm just going to have a look. What other white boxes with moon have I had, if any? I've had another one that was a lie, that also had a green note in it that said there are 3 memos there are 3 memos with false statements in the clock tower, and that was a lie. So it could be that white boxes with moon are simply lies. Do I have any other examples? White. I've got lots of white with water. I have another. Yeah, okay, another one that is also definitely a lie. Oh, actually, our very first treasure trove memo was a white box with a moon with a green memo in it that said green memos you find in this room will always be true. And that was definitely a lie as well. Oh yeah, sorry, and we actually have a rule, which is that white box green memos found in white boxes are always lies. Yep, so that works out. knew it, but it's really nice to have it like to know that the rule itself is confirmed. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let us go. Let us go. By the way, does anyone else get this? This is a bit, maybe a little difficult to explain. I get a lot of satisfaction in life in general when I find rainbow patterns of color. And so this little collection here really makes me happy. And actually, for pretty much the entire time I've played this game, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you, I've always wanted to make a rainbow house, as in maybe like, you know, like this column is all blue, green, gold, you know, and orange. You know, it's I don't know how it would work, and I don't know if the game would recognize it in any way, but I've always just wanted to do it at some point. Cool. Now from here, I'm getting low on steps, so I am a little bit like, is it worthwhile just going and buying stuff in the kitchen? Like, we have to go through here anyway. By the way, is it worth making any contraptions here? No. So from here, if I were to go 1, 2, 3, 4, no, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 10 steps to go there and back. It's like it would definitely gain me steps. But I do also feel like I'm kind of likely to draft dining room anyway. But then maybe I should just keep going up from conference room. I might actually just do that. Because we're much better off with keys now. Let's do that. So we'll buy club sandwich. Alright, I feel better about that. We've got these here just in case, but I don't want to put morning room into the pool yet. Okay, just double checking for items. No. Have we had anything spread yet? No. Okay. Again, I could, because I think drafting into the wing isn't going to get me. Yeah, like if I'm going to do this, we might as well here do secret garden key, because I think from my theorizing about the patterns, I think that we wouldn't get throne room as an option here anyway. So let's get secret garden out of the way. There is a dig spot. Okay, and at least now we can get antechamber open. Oh, I'm so hoping that I can call it a day in antechamber today. Oh man, I've been waiting for an opportunity. I really hope this works out. Thankfully, the scepter should make it more likely to get a shrine in the outer room anyway. Cool. Yes. Great. This is one of those days where I'm not feeling narrow enough to go in here. Yeah, God, secret garden. What a room. What a room. I wish I could just turn secret garden key into a necklace and wear it every day. Don't know why Simon doesn't think about doing that, quite frankly. Okay, so rather than drafting up, let's draft in again. Alright, well, neither of these for sure, so let's go passageway. I really wish I could do some more, like, I really wish I could get, you know, Mantle of the Night so I can get armory and cut some more gem costs from some of these common rooms. Well, the good thing about Great Hall is it would all be open. Closed exhibit from this angle. I mean, maybe I could get the crown. Maybe. And there's no, you know, there's no curse today. And, you know, we have key card. Maybe cursed exhibit. Maybe closed exhibit. Maybe, like, I have noted actually that there have been a couple of times where closed exhibit was adjacent to throne room. And so maybe the crown relationship sort of works as well. I'm going to give it a go. Okay, so if we get to the back of here, maybe we can make something happen. Starting to get more colors. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Like, again, I'm faced with that question of, should I get more blue rooms out of the pool so that it starts finding, you know, the blue rooms? It seeks throne room to you know, to fulfill the scepter's influence. That's just too many gems though. It's just too many gems. Yeah, let's do bedroom here. Alright, so this is rank 6, and so far it hasn't worked, and now I can't draft into the wing here, which sort of sucks, but I don't know what the best technique is. Here, what have I got? Prism key I don't want, because that would just give me a bedroom. Okay. Well, Great Hall could be good here, because I would be able to go in each direction and get whatever is in there. Yeah, let's do that. Everything will be open, thank you. Let's just do it efficiently like this. Yay! Okay, door, little one. Okay, gem is very welcome. That's already open. Gem, gem, gem. Yes. All right. That's really good. That's really good. I appreciate it, Great Hall. So I could try here. If rank 6 and 7 do have any kind of relationship with Great Hall, I'm really hoping. I'm really hoping. I don't know. Here's the problem. I could put pool here. It gets pool out of the way. I have a couple of trunks and it's got really great exits. However, it's going to introduce locker room, sauna and pump room into the pool. So I'm a bit afraid of that. But I'm also a little bit worried that what I'm getting is way more colorful rooms here. Like the blue is sort of running out. And I'm a little bit afraid that, like, you know, maybe we're getting servants' quarters here because it's near a bedroom. I don't know. I just don't know. But I only have one redraw. I'm just taking a look at again at my throne room days. Like, it has been drafted from many different color rooms, you know? I'm gonna go East Wing Hall. Okay, and we'll try something here. Again, study. Study is what I'm really looking for. Master bedroom would be great for the steps though. Maybe it's a good opportunity to do this. Great. Okay, so that's a real help with steps. That's very, very nice. Swimbird. Ah, little coin. And even more coins. Okay. Here as well. I mean, we've sort of like solved, I guess, the puzzle associated with this, but doesn't mean anything that it's also here. Or is it just, you know, it's the family crest, you know? I still feel like they're like, what's going on with these freaking swords? Is probably my biggest question. But also, yeah, could anything else be going on here? Like, is it possible to get into these things? What the hell? I don't know. I don't know. I suppose it makes more sense to draft here. All of these spots, like, have had throne room opportunities. So maybe let me consider my good old Parlor map. No, this spot I've done. So it goes nowhere anyway. So I guess let's put Rotunda here. This is becoming a difficult day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Throne. 1. So I only have 4 more opportunities to try and draft throne room. That is really tough. That's really, really rough. So this spot above me here, I've never had throne room. Doesn't mean it can't appear there. I have definitely had it this way though. I guess I'm thinking, let's try drafting here. Maybe we can just get, you know, have the chance for more redraws. Prism key's not going to work anyway, so that doesn't matter. That doesn't help us. Rotating doesn't help me either here either. Like, neither of these give me the access to foundation. I don't think it matters. So maybe I should just put mailroom here. Just so, you know, that's something nice for tomorrow. There we go. We'll give ourselves a little gift. We'll give tomorrow Rebecca a little gift. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Throne room. So I only have 3 more spaces to play with. Let's do this next space, and then this. And at least we get a corner possibility. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, hey. So, totally. So hang on, this could be useful. However, does this work? I can go around there. Yeah, this is the run that we have to do. Okay. Let's get this just in case it might help. Reveal the tripwire. Lower the barrier, it's the most important one. I'm just getting a run up. Reset alarm. Okay. Go, 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 go. Oh no, this probably really slows things down. It's probably... Oh, the hole is a little bit in the way as well. Oh, we actually made that with plenty of time, actually. That's not bad. I'm hoping that if I draft from Rotunda, there might even be a tendency to connect to foundation. But then, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what to go with. I don't know what the best tactic is. All I can do is try. Does the crown make another crown more common? Do I have to get the crown from antechamber, like, to make throne room more common? That's something I should have considered earlier maybe as well. Oh well, let's try. Okay. As good as showroom could be, I think I'm going to go with cloister in the hope that maybe cloister itself even makes throne room possible. And I've had throne room on this spot two times at least. In fact, this is, where we got blue throne room. And it was with cloister out the front. So, given that, all right, let me rethink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or it could be, let's say here, 8. Throne room. Now let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does the outer room count? Hang on, I've just considered this. Maybe, because all it says is the next time you draft 8 blueprints in a row, maybe outer room counts as well. And my plan is to do a blue outer room. That could save me. Could. 1, 2, 3. But let's assume for now no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Throne room. 2 other rooms that I could potentially use to get study. This is what I'm thinking. So maybe I should try here next. I'm just double checking for myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm kind of hoping this could be throne room right here. And if I could manage to do these 2, it could potentially get me study. Alright, I'm going to go with that. I can't see how the dig spots are going to help me at all. Alright, here's the problem, is gems. The problem is gems actually right here. Study itself... Study has no gem cost. Okay, so that's good. Actually, I miscounted. I have drafted this 20 times. Okay. But the room I would be hoping to join, to get here would obviously be a 3 exit room. I don't have silver key to help me out here. Prism key is not going to help me. And I only have 1 redraw. So this is tough. I don't have battery pack to help me get jackhammer. I don't even have jackhammer to go and maybe try to get a gem. I can go down foundation and get another gem. I honestly think this is worthwhile. Just in case. I've got the steps. Like, dining room would be really ideal, and, you know, that'd give me food, it'd give me sustenance, it'd give me energy, all of that. And it would give me the exact exit pattern that I want. You know, I could then have the blue crown. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. We need to open the lever anyway. Again, I was really, really hoping to have had throne room by now, so that I didn't need to go down and open this lever, but this will at least help us in 2 different ways. So we've got the steps. It's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah. Like, I feel like I can get down there. I feel like I can get down there. And there's something going on with that space, you know? Alright, that's in the right position, I think. Down to the freaking wire with you know, not keys, we're good for keys, but down to the wire with gems, down to the wire with redraw die, with drafting you know, spaces. Oh, it's another tough one. I wonder like how I can rethink my strategy to make this more likely. I've kind of seen you from another angle now with the miners who found you. But look, that's like a little door. That's definitely a way. It's definitely a way in, right? Could there be more going on in here as well? I don't know. Another thing I've thought of, I'm not sure if I've said this, is coming to is, you know, look, I'm thinking of all sorts of stuff with the scepter now, but I have thought, like, what about coming to the inner sanctum rooms with the scepter in a particular colour? It's just a thought, another little thing I'm thinking about. Maybe could be a cool thing to try, but obviously right now none of them are blue. So okay, we'll head back. Oh, study. Why are you so hard? Why are you so hard? So maybe what I need to do is really incorporate, like really go hard with actually trying to get solarium, you know, to make all of this more, to make study more likely. I don't know. But it's hard, it's really hard making this happen when you don't have study, you know, to begin with. And maybe if nothing else, what I could do, if I do manage to get Shrine today all set up, maybe then, like if I'm still in some, you know, if I give up on this particular, on unlocking the blue doors, however, I still have drafting possibilities. Maybe I could still try to get study and then call it a day in study rather than antechamber to give me study from tomorrow. And that could be the thing to make all of the difference. I feel like this is so hard to achieve without study. I feel like I'm just not being lucky. But like I have had throne room 20 times before, you know, like it hasn't really been, it's like it's not that hard until I'm really trying to get it. Okay, at least we've got 2 gems now. Let's see. Chapel, yeah, it's just gonna have to be chapel because I don't want to use a redraw die here. Okay, all right. This is at least good. We didn't have to use a redraw die. Maybe having the crown actually makes a big difference. Maybe it makes all the difference. Maybe this is what I need to do, you know, in my next attempt. Pray, pray. Okay, so we can at least use the crown to redraw here. Now we're on to regular rook redraws. Redraw. Study. Why on a day when blue rooms are like encouraged, why am I having so much trouble finding you? Why? Why? Maybe if I put conservatory here, I can make study like common. You know, that would be golden. Absolutely golden. Okay, we get one more go at this. So now I don't know. All right, now my question is, do I accept I'm not seeing study today? Put one of these other rooms here. Use my single redraw here to just try for study from cloister. To try for throne room from cloister. I mean, the problem is that getting throne room is just the first of many steps. All of the other steps rely on being able to get appropriate, blue rooms after that. Can lab help me in any way? I don't really think so. Like, there are things that might give me redraw die, but they're not very common. And they're not very dependable either. I might put trophy room here. Just because this gets me around the corner. Here, oh, a little bit of coins on a zebra. With the possibility that the outer room counts as a blue room, then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, outer room 8. So potentially if I could get study on this spot, maybe it could work out. I'm so nervous. I mean, Solarium could help me get study, but if I put it here, there's definitely no chance. I can remove this. I mean, that's the last chance I could really think of, besides the one chance now to get throne room. Maybe the best I could do then, instead of trying to redraw here to get it, is just to get attic, which might come with redraw die. Potentially. I don't even know if, honestly, I don't even know if picking that up is going to help me. I genuinely don't really understand compass. It seems chaotic and strange to me. I know what it's meant to do on the box, but I feel like it doesn't do it a lot of the time. Okay, we do have this, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is rank. Is that in the classroom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Passageway? Was it rank 6? Let me look again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's passageway. Oh, okay, interesting. I don't know. I'm gonna leave compass, honestly. Just, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from it. What could I expect from digging in passageway? Unfortunately, it's only gems or coins I think I can look forward to, unless it's some kind of amazing, unusual box. Yeah, the dig spots can't get me any redraws as it stands. I haven't even opened this up. It's an interesting room. Let's do it. Passageway to something else. Passageway to box full of redraw die. Alright, gems and money. Okay. Alright. Well, it may still be useful for making something else of the day. Alright. This is the best thing I can think of, is to try drafting here, where we've had where we've had throne room before. It's in fact the only place. Oh my god. It's so I want to cry for different reasons. This is bittersweet. So this maybe makes it technically possible. Maybe, but I don't even know. This is only if the outer room counts. And it's of course only if, with my one single redraw die that I have now, I manage to put blue rooms everywhere here. That is rough. This is really rough. Every room now in the day needs to be a blue room. With only one redraw die. And I can't... Like, it may be that I could be lucky enough that, like, one of them, like something like this, if this one could be study, then that'll really massively increase my chances here. So let's go here, because then we can maybe use the redraw die if we need to, and maybe... Yeah, I don't know. Oh my god, this is really hard. But I'm at least glad that this spot has been kind to us. It very well could be picking up the crown. So I think if I have to have another go at this... Oh, hang on, not this way. If I have to have another go at this, I will do my best to pick up the crown earlier. That could be the thing, actually, that made the difference. I wish I had thought about that. Of all of the things I thought about. And yeah, like, we haven't been able to pick up. If I could only have picked up the battery pack somewhere, then I could use all of my dig spots to get some more redraw die. I could go to the outer room and sacrifice Shrine to try to get Trading Post to make more redraw happen. I don't know. But then, yeah. But then I sacrifice my other goals as well. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Just be study. At the very least, it needs to be a blue room. Okay. So maybe putting dining room here is just sensible. And it at least gets us to the next room. So that's one. Oh my god. Oh my god. It at least gets us to the next room. It doesn't get us any redraw die. I can't possibly have showroom, so let's just eat it now. This might be sort of at least my first kind of beginning attempt at this. Okay, at least here we will have redraw possibilities. I can't imagine a blue room that's going to be more helpful than study. I mean, no, there's definitely no blue room that's going to be more helpful than study, but I guess if it's not study, I can't imagine a blue room that is going to give me more redraw possibilities at the moment. This is really tough because library could makes study more likely. However, and it's a blue room, it would be a second blue room. However, it's sacrificing all of the redraw possibilities that I have on this spot. Oh, I feel like I'm so sort of close to something maybe. Like which, again, this is just one of those blueprints choices. It's like, do I think library would make the unusual room of study likely enough to bet on this, or should I use the 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 redraw options that I have in this last corner? I'm really torn. I am really torn. I don't know. Hang on. I'm going to have a pause and have a little think about this rather than you just listening to silence. Okay. Not only did I think, I did a bit of analysis just on my past days. So I've been sitting here listening to like this sound, the crackling fire and the ticking, for quite a long time now, trying to help me to make this decision. And I'm still really torn. That's where I am. However, I have a bit more information at least now. So what did I do? I considered which blue rooms at the very least do I have, which are unusual and which are rare. So I'm considering like what I might get from library. And I'm, like obviously discounting things that I've already, like rooms that I've already drafted, and discounting ones that don't count for today, that wouldn't be in the pool. That leaves me with, among study as an unusual room, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 unusual rooms, and 1, 2, 3 rare rooms. I think some of these might, because I'm going off of the photos that I have on my phone. It's possible that I've changed some of the rarities since I took some of these photos. But so I'm trying to consider like what's the likelihood that library might get me study. In addition to that, I wonder, but I do not know, I wonder if maybe there's a bit of a relationship between like classrooms, library, schoolhouse. I at least know that there is a relationship between classrooms, library, schoolhouse, and dorm, because this comes up if you have like a school-related house at the end of the day. These rooms actually come up. I don't know if study gets, included in this, but I wonder about that. So I also looked back at every day, and I have, photos of like the end house of every day on my phone. And I marked down on the map everywhere that I've ever had study. Of course, the limitation here, and it's the limitation with my throne room analysis as well, is I can't see where I have been offered the option for these rooms, because that would require me going back and going through the whole, the episodes to actually find the incidents of these rooms coming up as options. And that's just, that's too much. But what I can look at is at least where I have drafted them. And at least with study, I know that there's a strong relationship between me being offered study and taking it, because at least, since the, not in the beginning of the game, but like, since at some point in the game, this has become a super valuable room for me. So a lot of the time it's offered, I would take it. A lot of the time it still wouldn't be good for a particular spot though. So there's that. But I have had it kind of just all over the place. Of course, I already know there's a bit of a relationship with it in the corners. I have very often had it in the corners. In fact, the place I've most had it is the top left-hand, the northeast corner. Like that's my best study spot. I've had it at least 6 times there. Down in the southwest corner, I've had it, I think, twice. So I know that corner spots are probably have a bit of a tendency towards a lot of dead end rooms anyway. And so that's quite nice. And the redraw ability, of course, lets me get, it's often where I might look for things like study. So there's that as well. The thing, though, that concerns me is that I have never had a study. As far as I can see, I have never had study in either of the east corners. I might have been offered it, but I've never taken it. That could even be because I would tend to do this corner after I'd tend to do the east north corner before the northwest corner. I, would almost certainly be going to the northwest corner before, this corner here. So it could be that a lot of the time I just already have study. So where have I landed? I have more information. I also know that I've several times had study from chapel, from conference room, and that I've had it from library, I think 3 times. I've had it from courtyard a couple of times as well. So, some other rooms, but this is sort of so this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Going like, do I feel like I'm more likely to get it in this corner with several redraws? Or do I feel like I'm more likely to get it from library, given that it's, it's going to make, I assume, unusual and rare rooms more likely? And so I still don't know. I guess the good thing about taking library is it's already a blue room. So I don't need study. It's just that study would be freaking life-changing for what I'm trying to do here. The thing, I don't know. I still don't know. This is still really hard. I have many redraws in this corner. It could deliver me study. But I've never had study in this corner, and that concerns me. I have had it from library sometimes. So I think I'm actually going to do library. At least it's another blue room. We'll see. Maybe it's a bad decision. I don't know if Coupon Book can help me get study. It's a bit weird. I have another little weird goal that I decided to do the next time I get library, which is I'm going to order Swimbird again, because in the card catalog, I have 2 more blank spots in the card catalog for Swimbird. So I want to get Swimbird out 3 more times and see what happens when you fill up a card catalog. I'm really curious about that. Okay, I suppose I'd really, really hope for the option for study. However, is there no redraw die? No redraw die, please. Okay. Battery pack. I'd take battery pack as well. Battery pack could be life-changing for me. Let's just see. Let's see if we can get lucky. Let's see if we can get lucky with study here. If not, a blue room will do. I'm so stressed. Oh my god. Oh, after all of this analysis I've been sitting here and doing, I'm so glad. I mean, who knows? Maybe it was just as likely from the corner, but like either way, this could be it. This could be the thing that makes the difference. Oh my god. Now I only have 16 gems. That's not a ton. Thankfully from Great Hall, I can, or even from Dining Room, I can draft into the next spot. Okay. Oh my god. I don't even know if it's possible because I'm hoping that the outer room counts. That's the only way that this works. Okay. A gem. This all helps immensely. This all helps so much. Thank you, study. And I suppose if nothing else, if I can get Shrine in outer room, we could even just decide to call it a day in study and at least make sure that we have it for tomorrow, which could, if today fails, that could make all the difference. Oh, I've been sitting here for so long trying to make myself feel better about one decision or the other. Oh. Mwah. Mwah. So excellent. Okay, so we just need a blue room from here. At least we have more redraw potential now. So we might as well. I'm just thinking, like, why not remove things from the pool while I have the chance, right? Is that crazy? I feel like it'll make other things easier. Okay. So, ballroom will not be useful in any of the other spaces unless it's my last one. So I actually think I might as well put it here, right? Even though it takes up 2 gems, which sucks. Yeah, I think it's at least, you know, because I would have to use gems to redraw anyway. Okay, so we can't go through ballroom. Let's get the hell away from ballroom. Oh my goodness. I'm stuck. Oh, it could be life-changing if I could just pick up the battery pack somewhere. Okay. So, we've got 64 steps. That's good. Cloyd will head down. Oh, I feel so nervous. I've just got to make this work. I've just got to make this work these last 3 times and then in the outer room. Like, I don't know if I should just risk doing the dig spots. I don't know what it's going to get me. Like, I'm not going to get battery pack from a dig spot, right? But if I were to pick up battery pack at some point, I could then, you know, get more gems, Hang on, where am I going? I can go down, closed exhibit. Oh no, I have to cross over here. This is the only crossover point. Okay. So, passageway, secret garden, conference room. Classroom. Spare veranda, kitchen, nook. Yep. I have to go all the way back to entrance hall. And then up and around. Okay. That's what we must do. Pebbles, okay. Not even worth it. Like, yeah. I'm just going to leave them there just in case. I can't think of anything that's, you know, I can't imagine that I'm going to find battery pack in a dig spot. Oh, where am I going? I've gone the wrong way. So silly. This way. Secret garden. I didn't miss battery pack here, did I? Oh, it would be really nice. I do have fruit, thankfully, so that's good. I'm just going to eat all of this so I do not have a step problem. Okay. Now, classroom. Any kids? Does anyone have a battery pack? Did I miss a battery pack anywhere? That would make me really happy. Might as well buy the banana. Do not buy the bacon and eggs. Battery pack could change my life, but at least we've got study. Okay. Parlor. Break room. Okay. Oh, it could be in here, right? I forgot about the trunks. Money. I really wished it was any redraw die. Or the battery pack. Okay, that's fine. Hey, Bixie! Hey! Again, I can't even, you know, like, entertain the idea of getting trading post in the outer room to get the battery pack, because then I wouldn't have enough to potentially make this work. So all we can do is go up from here and around. This is all I have. Does any room want to give me a battery pack for ya? I'd love a battery pack. At this stage, let's just pick up the money, just in case, like, maybe, you know, the last thing I draft is freezer, right? Is possible? Did I get freezer yesterday? I got it the day before. So it is possible today. It is possible today. Okay. All right. This is it. This is it. I feel crazed. I feel crazed. Not only do I need blue room, I need a blue room going in every, you know, in the next 2 instances, I need a blue room that goes in the right direction. Okay. Pool is perfect. And actually at this stage, if it could put those things into... I feel so nervous. I'm so nervous. If it could put these things into the pool, that'd be a real help. I feel so nervous. And if this could be a battery pack, that'd be even better. I don't need to be any richer than this. I'll trade it all. I'll trade it all for a battery pack. Oh, okay. Hang on. What could silver key do for me? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, at least we've got a great amount of gems. Like, we've got enough gems to redraw, max redraws on each spot. We should be able to do this. We should be able to do this. Will it work is the question. Hang on. Well, break room would be perfect, actually. So we should just do that, right? Yes. I'm making slow decisions to try and make sure I don't do anything really stupid. Like, is it possible for it to give me the battery pack? I don't have I ever received the it's keys from here, right? It's not going to be battery pack. Oh god. Oh god. Am I going to do this math? Am I going to do this math right here? Yes, I am. I guess it would be silly to not take the opportunity. So we can ignore these two. So 18. What a tension breaker. I feel so stressed. I have 10,000 butterflies in my stomach right now. They are angry, my friends. It's an angry ocean of butterflies in there. So 18 minus 7, 11 invert is 11. Where is it? Where is 11? I'm stressed. Okay. Here it is a third of 1, and then a third. No, it's a sixth of 1 because we're double. And then that just rounds back up to 1 anyway. Squaring becomes 1. Then we add another sixth, and that goes up to 2. We square that to 4, and then we subtract 0.666. Which then we're rounding to 3. Yep. Oh, no, sorry, we're not doing that, actually. No, not with the yellow. So it's actually 4. So, all right, so it is actually 4, and then it's simply minus 0.666, so 3.3. And then we're adding again another 0.6, so that takes it up to 4. And then we square it to 16. Yay. Okay, keys. All right. This is the last one I need in the house. This is sort of the most important thing here. Parlor will do, right? Parlor will do. Rebecca, will Parlor do? Think carefully. Parlor will do, right? Parlor will do. Okay, that's 7. That's 7. I don't even need these. I'm sorry, I'm just walking away. I don't need them. I'm not going to end with freezer, so it's fine. I have so many redraws, so we can definitely get blue room, outer room. We can definitely do it. I have enough steps. I'm just thinking, like, what silly thing can I do to mess this up? Oh my god. I feel crazed. I don't know if this is going to count, but I really hope it does. I just really, really hope that this can work. Please, please, Mount Holly. I'm doing this for you. I'm your king, probably, I guess. I am your king. Can this be it? I can't believe how hard I've had to work for this. Oh God, I hope this counts. God, I hope this counts. Shrine is what I want. Yes! It tells you! Oh my goodness. Oh, guys. That was insane. I've done it. I've done it. Don't go near this thing. Okay, let's put in, we've got enough money. Let's just put in our standard fare. Good old 62. I could experiment, I don't know, like maybe one more will get, maybe one more will like get me another day or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but I'm afraid that if I do that, it might click over into a different blessing. Like I am only guessing at how this works right now. I want to be sure that I can get this. So I'm going to do good old 62. Oh, this is, I can't believe this is working. I can't believe this is work. This has worked. This has worked. We have our 2 microchips. Thank God I haven't lost them. We have to go and get the other one. Oh, what's going to be behind the door? What's in the box? What's in the box? What's behind the door? What on earth? I feel insane. I feel insane in a happy way. Oh my gosh. All my dreams are coming true. It points to my dreams. The angel points to my dreams. I need this. I need this. I need to take it. I am crawling on my hands and knees. I truly am crawling on my hands and knees to have gotten here, and now to be able to get down here to this door. Oh my God, I wonder if it's going to open in front of me or if it's already open. Yeah, it says seal unlocked, so it'll probably be like we can open it. Hey, Pixie! I am so... Oh, I'm still so nervous. But it's done. It's done. The seal is unlocked. Look at this day. I cannot believe once again, it is a day where every single event here came down to the last possibility, really. I cannot believe it. Hello, door. I hear your seal. Has been unlocked. Oh, hello. No. I say this after every reveal, don't I? But not in a zillion years would I have expected this. I didn't know what to expect at all here. Wow. Okay, hang on. So there is a parlor puzzle. Can I just say that I didn't do that last puzzle that I just left there. This is a bit weird, but does that mean that I actually am going to have access to another key just in case I can't do this or I make a mistake? I'm just thinking, like, because I left this one alone. Okay, that's an interesting thought. 7. So 7 blue curtains, and I don't know if this counts as an 8th door. Like, are these doors? Or what? Or what? Hello? I guess this is just permanently unsealed now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, before I even look at these, it was time for me to feed Pixel, so I've gone and given him his food. I'm not going to have a huge amount of meowing in the background while I'm sitting here in pure wonderment. Can you believe that worked? That was rough. That everything Everything took me to the last possibility. Utterly incredible. I'm so glad, like for anything it might have done, I'm so glad I took the time to just do this analysis. I don't know, it might have worked either way, but like either way it worked, and I'm just glad I took the path that I did. I'm so glad I took the path that I did. Here I am. I'm beyond the blue door. This is so interesting. So as soon as I saw these things, the first thing that popped into my head was the draft of a new clue that has this, to me, very conspicuous mention of like the nod to the Parlor boxes. So I've said this, like I've been wondering if this could be something. I don't know if this is something here. Let's take a freaking look. You have reached the what? You have reached the end of your journey. There are 2 true boxes in this room. There is no end to this journey. Well, look, I've got to be honest, I doubt I've reached the end of my journey, because I know that there is more than one blue door. So, and I'm sure there's some other things, right? So I don't think I've reached the end of my journey. That's, wow, like that's one hell of a statement. I don't think I've reached the end of my journey at all. So I feel crazy. I feel crazy right now. I feel, yeah, like a giddy, like giddy and nervous and excited. Wow. I guess if I'm doing this in the way that we typically do it, I would say this is false. I have not reached the end of my journey. This one may be true. It could be true. It could be false, because it could be that this one is still false and this is the only true box. There is no end to this journey. You know what? I don't know how this game would play this statement. I'm inclined to say, of course, there has to be an end to the journey at some point, if you mean the game. But at the same time, like, maybe there, like, even if you're interpreting the game, like, I guess there's always, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to think about this one. But if we're thinking about, like, let's say Simon's journey, maybe, and maybe it's even like me representing the family and Orinda Aries and Mount Holly, maybe in that sense there is no end to this journey. But so, what do I even do? There's no, so I assume that there's, what is it asking me to pick? There's no gem statement. I assume that this is not about gems, right? What am I being asked to do here? Maybe this does relate to a new clue. Let me have a look at the line in the book. I mean, do I pick, because we've just done all blue, like blue rooms with the blue scepter. We've gotten in the blue door. Do I pick the blue box? Is it just, do I just pick it? In a way, that's like, what am I doing here? What does it matter that there are true and false boxes? What are you asking me to do? At the same time, maybe it's like the key is next to the white box. Or maybe I'm meant to pick there is no end to this journey to like affirm that statement. Like, I understand. Yes, I agree, you know? So there you go. There's an argument for each one of the boxes there. What am I doing here? Hang on. What am I doing here? I'm going to take a look at what's written in the new clue draft for a start. Which is, he checked all the colours for each key that he wound. A nod to my uncle's parlour game. All right, so this could very well be whatever we need to think about this. He checked all the colours for each key that he wound. Now, in other places in this book, checked has had a double meaning, which is that the checked cases, you know, like the corner cases were checked, and that was how we found out, you know, about the message with the lowercase words and everything like that. There are no white rooms though, so like even if it were to relate to that list of corner cases, we've got what, patio, nook, office, and pantry, which is, you know, blue, 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 and green. So again, what does that mean? He changed all the letters in the lines that he found, lines as in ranks or lines as in spines. So I am wondering about the lines as in ranks thing. Are you asking me to change the letters in our, if you count small gates, 8 dates, crack 8 safes? Well, I mean, I don't think there's any way to make colours out of those, out of that. There's not. There might be a way to do something else with them by changing the letters, but he checked all the colours for each key that he wound. A nod to my uncle's parlour game. He doubled the meaning of each seasonal greeting, as my mother used to call me, and found that the diction of each word was sound. Unending homophones. I mean, maybe even the unending reference refers to this. I don't know. I feel like there's a good argument for any of them. Is there anything else going on with these boxes? Is it just as simple as this? Let's pick up the key. I'm literally wondering if I can go and get the other key. Maybe this is about opening. I'm going to try. I've got the steps, right? I've got the steps. Speaking of steps, I feel like I can't hear my steps right now. Is Simon floating a little bit? I can hear okay. I'm not deaf. I can hear other things. There are other sounds. There's my sounds. There's my footsteps. Hey, Pixie, good boy. Oh my God. Like, what am I doing? This is, again, every reveal, every new thing that you solve, and every new question that is answered in blueprints delivers more questions, more puzzles, and it's the absolute best thing in the world. I'm thrilled with this because I'm like, what on earth is this? What is it going to do? Okay, we can at least have 2 keys. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if any of this is going to work the way I'm even imagining. Right? I'm going to take this one too. I'm going to take it. Maybe this is a thing like, yeah, maybe I can have 2 goes at whatever this is. Maybe you need to open all 3 anyway. Maybe you're meant to open none of them. Maybe it's a sort of a, I don't know, a kind of a, you know, a nihilist sort of puzzle. I don't know. But I guess I got to try something. And the good thing is that the one thing I am sure of, because the game is always truthful when it tells you this, is that this door is permanently unlocked now. And it may be that any future blue door I find is now permanently unlocked. So that's great. Like, that's a real comfort. If I can't do something here today, it would have been amazing if I did have any remaining drafting possibilities, and if this is a thing where you have to get the right one, and if I got it wrong twice, I could maybe go and try and draft another parlor to get another key. What? Hang on. What on earth? My controller has also died. Hang on. Okay, my controller has died. I'm literally using I don't know what the keyboard controls are. I don't know. I don't know how to turn around. So I feel like the door has just shut. I'm literally like, I don't know how to control. This is the most insane. This is okay. All right. There we go. Why did I just hear the sound of the door closing behind me? This is so weird because I don't know how to control this game with keyboard, but I can't get my controller. I can't get my controller going. I don't know. I was wondering, like, as soon as I heard that sound, it was the most unbelievable situation. I heard that sound and I was like, is the door closing behind me? And I couldn't turn to look because my right hand controller had stopped working. It was the weirdest panic. Anyway, I don't know what that was. I do not know what that was. I was like, am I being punished for coming in here with two key? Let's just try this. I don't know what to do. Let's just try it. I don't think I'm at the end of my journey. Okay, so obviously that was wrong. What happens now, Simon? What have I done? What have I done? Oh no, I'm so sorry, Simon. I didn't know how to interpret this. He looks so sad. Or is he looking more carefully? Okay. Maybe all of them are empty. Maybe it's just that this one is correct, that both of these things are correct at the same time. But again, I'm asking myself, why not pick the blue one? Is it insane to not pick the blue one? What does it matter if this is true or not? Surely I can try again tomorrow, right? Surely I can try again tomorrow. Maybe it just doesn't matter if you pick a second one. You have to pick the correct one the first time. Okay, I probably should have picked the blue one. Okay. Why did Simon look at this for so long? Hang on. There we go. Oh, maybe I did pick the correct one, I think, because this is an anti-clockwise swirl. Aha. Okay. Okay. Because that one has nothing on it. I think we did get it right, maybe. But what do I do? How do I do an anti-clockwise? What do I mean, all right, okay. Here's what I'm thinking immediately. This must relate to our investor needed, does it never end thing. This is the swirl that's in all of them. Okay, could anything I've been thinking about so far help me with this? Because I've already established that from those letters you can't you can't get any other color apart from red. Like, you can't get box, you can't get... So it must be... Maybe, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe, like, how would this puzzle work, right? Like, you know, I'm sort of thinking like anti-clockwise swirl, maybe it's to do with winding the key in some way, right? However, it doesn't let me do anything else to it. This is definitely anti-clockwise swirl. I'm sorry, this is going to look really awkward because I'm doing this on my touchpad. Well, my control, like my right controller is out of juice, basically. Okay, this is definitely the investor needed anagram. So what else? We've got like what? Blue, we've got curtains in here. What other words? Devote, you know, Tor is, you can make. Doves, trove, deed, ID, in as in INN, tree, den. You know, I've been over all of this. The only numbers are 1, 7, and 9. Severed. The only color is red. I guess it doesn't matter. It's more like, what do you do here, right? So maybe you have to put something in here. Maybe you have to put something in here and close it again. Could it be, like if this is the black box, key of Aries, or 8 key, I can go and get the key of Aries very awkwardly. Okay, I'm back from a big break, and at least now I don't have to go and get it awkwardly, because it's been I just simply ran out of time for recording. I couldn't record anymore at that moment. Excuse me. Hang on. I have just seen letters. What the hell? That's not what I expected. That's freaking letters. Hang on. They're the same ones. It's like OVSS? What? Hang on. What? The same ones are everywhere. Okay, alright. Well, that is a revelation I was not expecting to interrupt. I was just going to explain what I've been doing. Anyway, it turned out to be a good break because, as you might be able to tell, my controller's now charged up, so it gave it time for, you know, so that I didn't have to do all of this by keyboard and not know how to actually, you know, work anything. So that's good. It also gave me time to go away and have a think, and I wish I had noticed this before, because I've only just noticed this now coming back to the game, so I haven't had any time to think about what the hell this might mean. OVSS? The same thing as everywhere? Okay, alright. Unexpected revelation. I've got a honey tea here. I need to have a sip of it. Oh my god, what the hell? Anyway, I'll tell you what I have been doing, because I had a bit of time to have a think about this. I have been having a think about like my approach here. How I might be able to understand, you know, this puzzle. And here's what I'm thinking. I am thinking, what are the things that we have to potentially, what are the ways that we just have in this game to solve this? I think the number one thing I think is that this puzzle is about putting something inside this box. To me, that just seems like we're faced with a box that is empty. The thing we can do here is open and close it. You know, this is what we have at hand. So maybe if I come here with the right item, it's putting it in there. Now, you knew that because, you know, I was already talking about the Aries key and whatnot. That's my number one thought. However, I have also thought it could also be, what else do we have, you know, that we can use to manipulate things in the game? It is contraptions or tools is another possibility. It could also be specifically having a key, though this already has a key in it, but maybe it's turning up here with a particular key. It could, of course, also relate to the scepter color in some way, because that's a new thing that we've acquired and that was necessary in order just to get here. So I could imagine that there's some sort of relationship there. It's certainly not what I'm putting my money on. Because I am so sure that this is Tor that relates to our investor needed, does it never end, etc. anagrams. I also wonder if this could relate to our secret circle numbers, maybe. But I wouldn't know, what to do with them. Just a thought. And the other thing is, does it relate to the spiral of stars in some way? Does it tell me something about that? Anyway, the number one thing that I think, though, is that we need an item and we put it inside this box, and maybe we close the box and then something happens. This is the best idea that I have. I thought I heard something else there. So what I've been doing is I've written out a big list of all of the items I can think of in the game so far. Might not even be complete at this stage, but I've just made a go at it. And no doubt, the number one thing that I just think is the thing, my absolute best guess is key 8. Key 8 is the thing I think that we might have to just come here. We put key 8 inside this box, and maybe that's the thing. The reason for that is just all of the relationship with 8. Everything we know about it. 8, unknown. We're currently in the unknown. We know that our 8 is associated with never-ending infinity. We know that our 8 is associated with turning. Turning, does it never end? So to me, everything screams key 8 goes in here. How that's related to the investor needed anagram, I think we're meant to make a phrase of some sort out of that. I think the answer to that is still another anagram. And to me, it's the most promising thing I can think of is the fact that you can use the word Tor. You can get the word Tor from the investor needed or does it never end, etc. letters. And this is Tor, right? This is Tor. So I don't know how that relates to key 8. Really, I can't find a full anagram, if you get me, that is aha, this is it for sure. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to think what words at least could potentially be related to certain items. So, if it is key 8, I don't have it today, so I can't do anything about it. I can go and get the Aries key, so I'm going to do that. I am, however, just before when I came back to this room, we heard a door open or close. I don't know if that was a glitch, because nothing seems to have closed and nothing seems to have opened. So I'm really weirded out by that. I've looked back at the footage and all I can hear is that sound. I thought this thing was closing behind me for absolute sure, but it has not. So I don't know why that happened. Maybe a glitch or maybe some reason I don't understand yet. Anyway, I'm going to go and get the Aries key, and I still think there's a compelling, it could be this as well, because obviously just thinking about, the Aries key itself has relation to infinity and 8 and unknown and all of that. It itself has that relationship. It has relationship to black. This is in the black box. Aries, all of that. The Aries house. So, I can come up with reasons why it could be the Aries key as well. And it's also just in terms of, again, game design. I would assume, well, I'm not going to assume, but I think there's a strong reason to suspect that whatever, if it is an item that goes in that box, whatever the item is something that you have to acquire at some point in the game, through significant effort. So, the Aries key, for example, is something that we find at some point. The scepter is something that we find at some point in kind of the key sort of strand of the game itself. All right, let's do this. So we are starting with 109 Y 1 2 3 4 5 6. Press and east. There we go. I still think there's probably another puzzle to be had here. Anyway, at least we can try this, and if it doesn't work, we know. This hasn't also, okay. This hasn't also opened, has it? Just in case. Okay. So, but I've written down all of the other items that I can think of, right? And I'm also trying to think, like, are there words that I can make from those anagram letters that could have a relationship to different items? If I'm able to sort of, if that is indeed the puzzle, and if I'm able to figure it out at some stage, I'm sort of like trying to jump ahead a little bit and go, well, what could this mysterious possible anagram be telling me? So obviously I'm very stuck on the word Tor being a part of it, but maybe I'm wrong about that. It just seems very, 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 very compelling. I keep thinking about the word deed, and does this have some relationship to the deed? I've even thought about deed Eve as being a possible phrase, and if that's the case, then the date of the deed, that we see is like May 13th. So maybe deed Eve means May 12th, obviously not in 1912, but I'm just throwing things out there, pew, 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 pew. The little pinball machine of my brain at work here. I've already gone over a lot of the words that I know we can make out of these letters. Like the only numbers that are possible are 179, so not 8, but one less than 9 or one more than 7 could make 8. There's both the word even and odd. I don't know, I find that interesting. The only room-related words I can find are trove and den. The only colour I can find is a red, etc. I can't really link any of these specifically to items or tools or contraptions in a specific way. What I was just thinking is, is there anything else I want to potentially go and try grabbing in the house? There's nothing else, is there? I don't know. No, let's just go and try this. I don't think there's anything else I can go in there and bring back to try. So some of the things I've come up with, unfortunately, and I really wish this weren't as compelling, I have thought of the freaking effigy. The effigy is associated with death, and death is associated with our Infinity 8. So maybe I'm so exasperated at even the thought that this might involve the effigy, and I really don't want that to be the case. Okay, so Aries key does not. Unless we have to come back here and not use the like maybe I need to come back here on another day and not put the wind-up key in, but put another key in. Maybe it could be that, In fact, one of the other things I've considered, which is a bit of a shame, is maybe a wind-up key itself needs to go in here. And so maybe I need to use the wind-up key that's available here to open it and then put another wind-up key in it. Maybe that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but my thinking is, again, Tor. So I've thought of like all of the items that might have a relationship to winding, to turning. So stopwatch, which obviously is not an item we can carry. So, but maybe it would mean getting stopwatch somewhere close to entrance hall and running out here while the time is still going. That's a bit ridiculous, but here, look, I'm just trying to think. There is, everything else I can think of that's sort of to do with turning is, of course, chronograph, the compass as well. And one of the things that I thought of with compass is the fact that the only Eurasian language direction that you can make out of these letters is in, meaning north, and our compass is north coded, right? It's north related. I've also thought maybe the magnifying glass, not even to put in there, but because the whole thing we see here in the cutscene is Simon looking closely at this. Now, obviously, that probably just means he's realized, that there's something really important on the lid of the box here. But maybe it's also a signal, bring the magnifying glass here and look closer at this to see something else. I mean, we did use the magnifying glass in an unusual way in the drafting studio with the tiny little safe. So it's just something I've considered. And as I said, a wind-up key would also have something to do with Tor. Then, there's all of the other keys. One that I thought it would be kind of weird, but like one possibility I've come up with is the secret garden key. The reason being that one of the words you can make out of the investor-needed letters is vines. And secret garden key has vines on it. So that's something. I mean, potentially even the gear wrench, that's a thing that you turn right. I don't know. Then there's all of the other keys, master key, silver key, secret diary key. I have also, again, it's a bit of a scary idea, but I have also thought of the microchips because they are items that we can carry. And the thing, that I have noticed, and I don't think I've sort of mentioned it about microchips, is when you pick them up and you have them in your inventory, they actually have the little, like one of them, the round one has a dot next to it, and the other two that are more moon-shaped have a little moon shape, symbol next to them. So I, wonder if that is important at some point. The fact that, one particular microchip might be necessary in a particular way. The other thing I've thought of, and this is actually kind of an interesting, exciting idea for me. I'm thinking like, what other items can we acquire in this game that go into our inventory, right? And obviously I'm discounting everything that I have here. These are the items that I have here that are clearly not doing anything. But the other thing I thought of is our animals, our little animal friends in room 8. Like, they're all items I can pick up and have with me. So I did think, I can't think of any words that we can make from the investor needed letters that matter for that. However, if I were going to pick any of them to try, it would be dog, because dog is our kind of it's the 8th sin. I mean, dog is not a sin. Dog has no sin. All dogs go to heaven. But dog is it. If you're looking at which ones are 7 sins, the dog is the extraneous one. The dog is the 8th unusual one. So maybe that. I don't know. These are things that I have thought of. So I guess probably there's not that much more I can try today. The only other thing that I thought of is the other way that we have to do things in this game is with our own movement, right? So if this is related to Tor, maybe it's like, go around the box many times, Simon. Maybe if we do it 8 times, maybe we're meant to do a little dance around the box, right? I haven't even been counting. It's all I can think of. Just trying stuff. Okay, now this is crazy. Now this has given me a whole different series of things to think of. And they're only here. The same ones on the side of every, presumably door of some kind, maybe, or just maybe there's a little room back here. And it definitely appears to be O.VSS. But I don't think the S at the end has a dot after it. Like, if it weren't for the dot, I would be thinking of, as in the Eurasian, grammar. Of, O-V, or it could be W, right? Could be W. O-W-S. What on earth? What are you doing to me, game? O-V or W, S, S. And why arranged in this way? Ah, ha, 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 ha. All right. So this could, okay, I think I'm understanding. This could be, because all of these letters are present in our anagram, if it's a V, not a W. So it could be kind of like how we've used codes already, right? That, but why would the dot be there? Is it like a word, full stop? So it could be that it's not in a grid though. Like certainly they are arranged spatially in an interesting way, but it's not technically a grid. The problem as well is that dot would stop Tor from being a part of the answer. Huh. And does that mean, like, I'm wondering if what this means, if this is what I'm thinking. Oh, no, it can't be. Sorry. No, it can be. There are two S's. Yep. No, there's not. There's one S. There's one S. There's one S. So it can't be that. Unless that last one is not an S. You know what? It probably... If it's not an... These all appear to be capitals. Well, are they then? Are they? I guess it could be a small O, a small V, a small S. That last one doesn't have the little serif. If the last thing was an S, it doesn't have a serif on the end of the top part of the S. So actually, what other letter could that be among here? I don't, like, there's D's, and if they were lowercase d, if they were lowercase d's, the rounded part at the bottom of it would make sense, but the little extra line at the top wouldn't make sense. T, V, it can't be N, it can't be E, it can't be I. And it would work as R if these two parts that I'm seeing here were like, upside down. It could be like an upside down R if it was a capital R. Okay, so could it then be not a letter but a number? It sort of looks like it could be 6, if anything. Sort of looks like it could be 6. Could it be 5 even? It could be 5. Okay, right. It's compelling that at least 3 of these letters are a part of the investor needed select collection of letters. I wonder if I read that the O is at the end of a word and the V is at the end of the word and the S is at the start of a word. Okay. I'm very glad I noticed that, or it's going to drive me absolutely insane. Yeah, it's all exactly the same everywhere, so I can't get any... Are there any other letters anywhere else? I'm just turning up the brightness on my screen to try and see. That's crazy. What about here? Can't see anything on the sides of the tables. Or on the sides of the boxes. It's interesting that, no, it's just the different colors of the boxes. I was going to say it's interesting that the inside of the lock here is silver and this one is gold, but that just matches the outside of the box. Floor, edge. Like this just looks like the normal sort of stuff that you find about the place. Like those are bits of letters, clear as day. Why are they here? Why are they here? I have to say, if the tiny little bit of, like if this here is also a part of it, it kind of looks like it could potentially even be the start of a T with a little bit of serif on the end. Which would, you know, there is also a T in our investor needed letters. But I can't see anything else. I think it must be related. It's just, all right. Not up here, yeah? Again, this is the pattern that we saw on the back of the door, which I love because it's like the pattern that's on some of our floors. I'm just seeing, are there any little differences between these? I wonder if one of them is going to be a door forward, or, you know, several of them or all of them are going to be things that go in different directions, or if they're more going to have like something behind them, like a thing, an item. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. Huh. Well, that is a really... that's unexpected. Okay. That's unexpected. So I guess I've got a lot of... It's going to be really interesting to see what we're faced with when we come back here tomorrow. You know, is the door just going to be like... Why is this uneven? That's interesting. Yeah, like is the door just going to be open like that? Will the box remain open, or will I have to open the box again? No, I'm like, is there anything on the crates? No, because I could get rid of that crate anyway. What about you? The crate that stayed. The crate that didn't disappear from the beginning. Can't see anything. Okay, interesting. So, look, this has been huge. This has been a lot. My best guess is I need key 8. So that's certainly going to be one of the first things I do my very best to try. Other than that, yeah, I'm going to be really, really thinking some more about this new letter revelation and just trying some more things in line with, yeah, what I've said my theories are. Other than that, how do we finish our day today? My God, this is honestly, from how the vast majority of this day went in the last couple of days, I was not expecting this. So I am thrown. I am as thrown as throne room right now. I think we've got our blessing of the monk back. My plan was, let's call it a day in antechamber. However, I do have coat check here. So let's go and do ourselves a favor and put something in here. What would I like? I think, you know, this we can access anyway, that's fine. Treasure map is, to be honest, treasure map is almost tempting because I'd really like to do many more experiments with treasure map. But the problem with this treasure map is it's not where I'd like to do Ladyship's Chamber experiment. So I don't want to, and that I think I've only ever had that once or twice, the one that's on the West Wing. Hang on, I'm just trying to remember my day because I've had a break now. So I didn't get showroom. Okay. What is the most useful thing to put away? I guess given that coat check is more common now. Like, does it make sense to put key card in there? Maybe that's the most useful thing to put in here. It used to be that I was, you know, like I reached a point where I was afraid of putting keycard in here because I actually have so many chances at getting it, particularly through break room. But now coat check is is commonplace, so I feel a lot better about getting it. Yeah, I can't think of anything better, honestly. Cool. And I don't need to start the day with Scepter tomorrow, and we know it's going to be pretty easy to get. Okay. So let us then find our way up to Antechamber because I've had a break. I've got to like remember how to move around the house. Foyer. No, it's not this section. I remember now. We have to go this way. Okay, this is going to be really exciting. I don't know if it's going to mean anything at all to begin, you know, to put Antechamber in the West Path tomorrow. But we've got so much money. Let's just give ourselves a little treat of bacon and eggs. Why not? And if it does mean anything, am I going to, like, as I, you know, is it going to be that, what is it going to be that there's going to be 2 antechambers? Because surely antechamber here is not going to disappear, right? I guess, I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it disappears from here. Thinking about it all is wild, honestly. Just wild. Let's free the tin can. Am I going what? Throne, cloister, foundation. Okay. Hello, blue throne. Hello, dig spots in cloister that I hardly used. I'm just doing this in case there's still something unique to find from dig spots. I'm still really interested in that possibility, so I want to try not to ignore them. Okay. Yeah, like, am I going to have to... Oh, I'm so excited to test this. Like, is antechamber in the outer path going to be inaccessible until I open the levers? Like, am I going to have 2 antechambers and, like, 2 levers get opened? You know, I could try basement key as well down there, but I don't think it's going to be basement key. Let's leave the experimentation for tomorrow. Okay. All right. So we're doing this again. Calling it. What a day. Today was the day. I've been, oh, look at this castle. Hang on. The architect's castle of prayers, because I had drafting rooms. Oh, that's really interesting. I don't even know if I've had an architect house before, let alone an architect castle. Maybe, surely on that day when I drafted most of the drafting rooms. But I don't think it was. I think something else. I don't know. I'm gonna have to double check. I think something else was part of the house title at the end of the day on that day. That's so interesting. That actually makes me really interested to do more drafting room days. I like that as like a house title. It seems so appropriate, right? That's what our family is. We're the family of the architects. That's our magic. That's our family magic. My God. Anyway, my God, we've done it. I've been working so long and so hard to get this blue door open, and I have no idea what this means for the possibility of even more blue doors. I'm imagining there's got to be at least 2 more, just from the phrasing of the Throne of the Blueprints, but skin of my teeth. Incredible the way that this all came together at the very last minute, through sweat, through crawling on my hands and knees, through the the last moments of possibility, you know, the tiniest little mouse-sized window of possibility. We squeezed through and we made it. And now, ooh, we have such an interesting puzzle. We have such an interesting puzzle, and I have no idea. Once again, I didn't know what was going to be beyond Blue Door. I now don't even know what's going to be slightly further beyond Blue Door. I can't even really, it's hard to imagine, but I'm very excited to find out. I hope that you have enjoyed this day, and I hope you are having your own wonderful day, full of magic and full of wonders, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next day for the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.